Nothing is more Texas than HEB. So let's head into HEB. Let's see what kind of awesome keto finds we can discover when it comes down to the Lone Star State. Let's head on in. Now, a nice thing about HEB is each one has a little bit of some different stuff, but it comes down to really the nice quality specialty foods that they have that really get me excited. Like, look at this cheese selection here. So when you're doing keto or anything like that, it's all about the quality when it comes down to the cheese. It comes down to the how long it's aged or what kind it is, what kind of microbial activity there is. So there's some really good quality cheeses here in the specialty section, and these are almost pretty much universal throughout many HEBs. So let me show you a few of them. Like, look at this. We've got this goat cheese here, the smoking goat cheese. So this actually is goat cheese that has a little bit more of a smoky taste to it, and it's a little bit harder. So normally goat cheese is a little bit, I don't know, kind of soft and gooey. This is one of the first goat cheeses that I've tried that you can actually slice and really like use on a platter, or, you know, if you wanted to do all kinds of different things with it. So very unique, and I've tried this one before. It's got a nice smoky flavor, kind of tastes like Gouda. But the nice thing, when it comes down to goat cheese, and I've talked about this in many videos, it is one of the only cheeses that is rich in MCTs, okay? So that means you can actually get a ketogenic effect from it. So it's pretty awesome. And then we also have a couple other ones from the same company. So this one's called the Drunken Goat. So this is interesting because this one is bathed in a little bit of red wine. I wouldn't really bother with that one. You're paying more and not necessarily getting much value for it. Soaking in red wine might give it a little flavor, but you're not getting the benefits or anything like that. Here's the same kind of thing, just in a larger item. Okay, and then I just found this Everyday Kitchen mother-in-law's kimchi. They have a spicy kimchi and they have an original. Okay, so here I've grabbed one of the originals. Here's what's really cool about kimchi. So if we look at the ingredients here, we have, cabbage, we have kind of the usual stuff. We have the Korean red chili pepper. Really nothing weird in there. Now you might look and you might see the cane sugar, but in this case, the cane sugar is really there to help the fermentation process. So I really like this kimchi because there's no preservatives, no sodium benzoate, nothing weird in there. It's just straight up kimchi, and the price is pretty awesome. It's only $5. So the thing is, with kimchi, you're going to get a more powerful effect than you would with, say, sauerkraut. Okay, there's some evidence that sauerkraut can be effective when it comes down to just gastric issues in general, but kimchi takes the cake because it has other compounds that are assisting in the fermentation, especially with keto, but also providing prebiotic effects. So like the garlic, things like that that are in kimchi are adding an additional effect because you're getting prebiotics in addition to the fermented cabbage. Now, interestingly enough, there's not a whole lot of evidence that sauerkraut is as amazing of a probiotic food as people think. So if you have an option to go sauerkraut or kimchi, I would typically recommend kimchi, although sauerkraut is definitely not bad. Kimchi is just better. Ooh, I'm glad I discovered these. Okay, so I've seen this one before. Okay, this is mozzarella and prosciutto, right? Which is a really cool little find, because typically in the way of cured meats, things like that, I would usually opt for prosciutto because it's just salt and pork pretty much. But I've never seen these Volpi brands with other ones. The Volpi, let's see, this one's mozzarella and cooked salami. Ooh, Osaka. This has got Osaka cheese and chorizo. But let's see what's in it really quick. Okay, if we look carefully. Okay, so sometimes with chorizo you'll find it's got sugar in it, but we're still looking at a negligible amount. I have to show you the box to show you how many actual grams of carbs are in this. See, it's still only 1 gram of carb, and it's coming from a negligible amount of the sugar that's in chorizo. So I never tried this one. I'm gonna get one of these, and I'm gonna get the one that I know is good. So if you're shopping at HEB and you want little snacks on keto, these guys are really good. But this is a little bit more of an aged cheese versus mozzarella, so it's probably a little bit better. Okay, I love my guacamole, but I love avocados even more. And what I like is this Holy Avocado Company. See, this has these 100% chunky avocado minis where it's not even guac, it's just avocados. So no preservatives, nothing to it. Only ingredient is Hass avocado. There's not even so much as citric acid added to this stuff. Okay, so $4.98, and you're getting quite a few of them. How many you got? 6 cups in here? I mean, that's perfect because each cup has 11 grams of good quality monounsaturated fats. These are the kinds of things you want to be consuming on keto. Add these to the side of your meals versus just cheese to try to get those calories in from a good quality fat source. So Texas, obviously very big on their avocados, and I'm stoked to see this. But they have some other flavors too, but I don't always want the garlic. I don't always want the jalapeno. I don't always want that stuff. Sometimes I just want straight up avocado, but I don't want to dive into an avocado itself if I don't have access to one. Okay, I can't necessarily say that these are going to be the cleanest things, but it is nice that in Texas I run into these. I don't see these in California, like bacon wrapped jalapenos with cream cheese. absolutely will fit keto macronutrients. I'm not going to say that they're the best, cleanest thing that you could possibly eat, but definitely cool to even have them, so you're not having to make them from scratch. That's what I do love about HEB in Texas. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so HEB, $6.99 a pound for grass-fed, grass-finished, and it's this HEB brand. Now, I don't know what kind of, deal they have going on there with what brand this or ranch this normally is, but still, 100% grass-fed and finished. I don't see that a whole lot in California, which is kind of funny. We actually see it polished off and being finished. So again, I've talked about before, with grass-fed, grass-finished meat, that means that it's actually finished on grass. A lot of times the last 30 days, they'll put them on corn. And that is going to change the dynamic of what you are consuming when you eat it, significantly more. Plus, this price for grass-fed, grass-finished is very, very, very good. Now I'm here traveling, so I had found this the other day when I was shopping here just for myself. I'm like, okay, I was expecting this to have some weird stuff in it, right? This Andy Garcia Foods shredded chicken breast. But man, when you are just on the go, check this out. I was amazed. Okay, we had chicken breast, water, salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and vinegar. Okay, now it's not like this super specialty, high quality chicken, but it is something simple without a bunch of preservatives. It's got garlic and salt, and that's pretty much it, right? So you're looking at just, I'm sure it's not organic chicken, obviously it's not, but if you're in a pinch, and that price, $7.49 for 16 ounces, pre-cooked, already shredded, and I'll tell you it's delicious because it's something that I was just living on when I was in my hotel room to get my protein in. That is a great find, and I have seen them in multiple HEBs. So if you're looking for something on the go and you're trying to wonder, hey, well, I don't want to have a protein shake, or hey, I'm going to swing through the drive-thru. No, you can roll by HEB, and that stuff is soaking in a broth that tastes delicious. But in that same breath, I can talk about this product, which I've talked about in my Costco videos before. I did not realize that they had some flavors here at HEB that I've never seen before. I've never seen Chipotle lime chicken. And I know for a fact this Kevin's brand, let's see what this flavor is and what the calories and everything is like. Oh my God, that's the lowest carb one I think I've seen. 3 grams of carbs, 3 servings per container. So if you ate this whole thing, you'd only have 9 grams of carbs. So it's like a sous vide style, really good quality stuff. But look, they also have this keto cauliflower mac and cheese. I have tried this, but I've only seen it at a few specialty stores, and the carb content looks a little bit higher, but also we have to factor in fiber. So 5 grams of carbs per serving on this one. It's a little hard to see the actual ingredients here, but maybe the editor can freeze frame it a little bit. But anyway, yeah, you've got a little bit of dairy in there. You've got a little bit of like some xanthan gum and stuff like that. But still, as a cool, relatively clean keto find, I definitely would recommend you try this. I'm going to try one of these because the people that I'm staying with now are keto, and I think they'll really like that. Anyway, all these other flavors, everything will work keto, so it's really cool. It's just, you've got this rice cauliflower stir fry, everything ranging from proteins to veggies. It's just a really cool product. I'm glad to see such a good suite here at HEB. They've got a heck of a selection of just coffee drinks and things like that, which normally I kind of like skim over. But these super coffees are kind of cool, and I noticed they've got this maple pumpkin flavor, which I tried the other day. Very, very good. Okay, so it's got Colombian coffee, milk protein isolate. You usually want to look for the milk protein isolate, not the milk protein concentrate. So it's really good to see that. Natural maple flavor could be questionable, right? And then we have MCT oil. We have natural flavors, which again aren't the best. Potassium phosphate. We don't want to elevate phosphate too much, so it's not something that you want to consume all the time. Monk fruit, chai spice flavors. So it's got a few kind of mystery things in there, but nothing that really jumps out at me. The natural flavors are a little bit questionable, so always be careful. Like, don't consume more than like 2 things per day that contain natural flavors is usually what I would recommend. And the potassium phosphate is just a preservative that's used in I shouldn't say preservative. It is a preservative, but that makes it sound like it's a chemical. It's really not that bad. It's just we don't want to elevate phosphate too much in our bodies. So you just try to avoid. Again, I'd say limit yourself to like 1 or 2 products that have potassium phosphate in them. I'm gonna grab one of these. $2.87 for that is good, and I like this maple pumpkin. Okay, and then we're in the bar section. It's cool. I noticed a couple that stood out to me. Keto Crisp is really, really good. Not the best ingredient profile, but as far as taste is concerned, if you just want something for taste, very, very good. I recommend you try it. Okay, the almond butter one is actually one of my favorite. Boo bars, Boo Fit, these are really good, and it's hard to read the ingredients. So let me just kind of show you here on the box. Organic pea protein, organic soluble fiber from tapioca, roasted sunflower seeds, roasted pecans, everything organic, red palm oil, sunflower lecithin, MCT oil, caramel cream, coconut oil. I mean, it's just amazing, amazing ingredient list. For a non-refrigerated bar, definitely a great find. So I'm gonna grab, actually salted caramel pecan sounds good, very Texas-y flavor. So I'm gonna grab one of those. Another one that I discovered at Sprouts not that long ago, this Hungry Buddha keto bar is really awesome. They're a little small, which I actually kind of like because they're a little bit lower calorie, but look at their fats blend. In this case is going to be sunflower seed butter, sunflower seeds, cocoa butter, coconut oil, medium chain triglycerides, MCT, coconut oil, soluble tapioca fiber, which is no big deal. It's a soluble fiber derived from tapioca, semi-sweet chocolate chips. In this case, the chocolate chips have sugar. So all I'd have to say is, okay, maybe I'll get one that doesn't have chocolate chips, like coconut cocoa. That one looks pretty good. And then we're looking at the macronutrients here. It says 17 grams of carbs, but we've got 13 grams of fiber, okay? And we're not loaded with tons of sugar alcohols. So I am gonna try with this flavor. I haven't tried this bar yet, but I just like the ingredient profile of it. So it definitely makes my cut as something clean that's at HEB. Oh, nice, I just discovered, I love these Love Good Fats bars. Okay, these are really, really good. And they have some of the good flavors here. Ooh, cookies and cream. You've gotta check these guys out. If you haven't tried Love Good Fats, you haven't lived. It was like the texture, it's different from something like this. Like these bars are good. I haven't tried this flavor, but these bars are good, but the consistency and the texture of Love Good, I can't really describe it. It's like eating an ice cream bar. It's really good. Not the biggest sunflower butter guy. I think there's better options, but it's better than peanut butter. Just because you're not getting the lectins like you would with peanut butter. Still similar omega-6 profile, so if you're kind of weighing between peanut and sunflower butter, it's not really like that big of a difference when it comes down to the omegas, but what does matter is the carb content and also the lectins. Now, I really like this one. Look at the carb content. 4 grams of carbs, 2 of which is fiber. 2 grams of net carbs. Okay, as far as nut butters go, it doesn't get like less carb than that. So if you're really looking to count those carbs, I'd say this sun butter that has no sugar added is probably the lowest one. Like you compare that to say something like this. Peanuts are gonna, well, they add sugar to this, but usually you're looking like 6 to 8 grams of carbs in peanut butter or something like that. And I will tell you, sunflower butter tastes, got a little bit of a bitter taste, but I think it tastes almost as good as peanut butter. And while we're in this cool little specialty section, Miracle Noodle is a shirataki noodle. Okay, so what that means is it's a glucomannan fiber. It digests, doesn't really digest, it draws water into your colon, and it's a very, very, very rich soluble fiber, which means, like, I can't remember the exact number, but for every couple grams that you consume, you draw in like a bunch more grams of water. So it practically is 0 calorie. This one is a pad thai one. Kind of curious in it. We got shirataki noodles. We've got, let's see, gluten-free soy sauce, coconut oil, coconut sugar. So we got a couple carbs in there. Got some, soybeans from the soy sauce. But so this one's got quite a bit of carbs because they're adding some sugar to it. But then I saw this pho, which might be really good, and it's bone broth. Yeah, 20 calories. In this case, we have water, cognac flour, citric acid, and then we have some bone broths, right? So we have mushroom, carrot, celery. Oh, it's not bone broth, but maltodextrin, sugar. So a couple carbs in there. I'm not going to get that, but that's still a cool keto find. If you're looking to have some pho and you can't have the rice noodles, then that's a good find. They also have these Evolve chocolate keto cups. I mean, a nice little spot right here with lots of keto stuff. Coconut butter ones are amazing. I'm not even going to, these are really good price. I'm not going to get these because they're so dangerous. They're so good. But what I will tell you what I like about them is look at the ingredients. First of all, they're big and bold. Coconut butter, cacao, Jerusalem artichoke fiber, cacao butter, MCT oil, and monk fruit extract. No sugar alcohols. I am going to get these. These are awesome. No sugar alcohols, nothing weird. It's just straight up pure monk fruit, which is actually pretty expensive for a product to put in there. So I'm stoked to see that. Actually, I'm not going to get them because I shouldn't be eating those right now. I'm trying to, really being strict right now. Oh, and now that I'm looking at those shirataki noodles, actually it reminds me, you should really check out a company called Natural Heaven. Okay, so they are today's video sponsor, and Natural Heaven is really cool because they have not only pasta, not only rice, but now mashed hearts of palm. Now, that means that you're talking just a couple of grams of net carbs. And I will tell you, their noodles are amazing, their rice is amazing, but their mash is one of the best mashes I've ever, if not the best mash I've ever had outside of mashed potatoes. Okay, so I put a link down below. So if you're doing keto and you want something that's only a couple of net carbs and you're sick of cauliflower, you don't want cauliflower rice because you're sick of it, it bloats you, you really do need to try hearts of palm. Okay, it's a whole different level, and in this case, it's sustainable palm. So it's not like contributing to all the deforestation and everything that's going on with palm oil in some cases. So there is a link down below in the description to save you a couple bucks if you want to try their mash. Again, they have pasta, they have spaghetti, they have angel hair, they have all different kinds of things. They have cauliflower rice that's not I guess in this case, hearts of palm rice that replaces cauliflower rice, and then they have the new mash. So that link is down below in the description if you want to check them out. Ooh, now this is a cool find. Wow. Okay, they actually have Bulgarian yogurt here. Bulgarian yogurt is going to be the most probiotic rich yogurt you can get. Okay, now in terms of comparing Greek yogurt to Bulgarian yogurt, sometimes you can see probiotic counts in astronomically high levels. They used to be able to show how much they have. Yeah, look at this, up to 90 billion CFU per serving. Okay, and then you can get it in a massive, massive tub. This is cool. Okay, so they have the non-fat version and they have the whole version. The milk fat in Bulgarian yogurt is actually quite good, okay? Rich in what's called conjugated linoleic acid, so don't be afraid if you're doing keto to go the full fat, but also check this out. Okay, carb content, still pretty low, 9 grams, which sounds high, but here's the thing. You need about half as much of this as you would Greek yogurt to do the job. Now, I prefer a company called Trimona, but they're not in a lot of grocery stores, so it makes it a little bit tough. But White Mountain's, decent. It's still good, and it's made right here where I'm shopping in Austin, Texas, which explains why it's here. So I would definitely recommend trying that. You'll find it's a thinner consistency, but it's a richer fat content. So it's kind of it's not strained the same as Greek yogurt, and it's part of that process that allows it to retain its probiotic-rich attributes. Okay, so definitely recommend, and especially at that price. So I'm definitely grabbing one of these, share it with my friend. I'm staying at his house. He's going to love that. One thing to note, though, is it is a little bit lower in protein than Greek yogurt. So if you're using it as a protein replacement, you may want to be careful and add some protein on the side. You want to use Bulgarian yogurt more so as a fat source versus as a protein source, but more so as a gut support source. So I think that's something that you want to be paying attention to. So have it alongside some protein, whereas Greek yogurt, you're usually a bit more okay using it as your actual protein. Now you've probably noticed I'm not shopping like my typical kind of meat and things like that. I'm just trying to highlight things that I notice here at HEB that are really great for keto that maybe I don't see other places. So again, this isn't like everything that I would eat. Obviously, I'd be shopping meat, I'd be shopping veggies, and everything like that. I just want to highlight, okay, these are cool keto products. Just want that to be known because I know people are going to be like, is this all you're going to eat? Let me show you a quick thing about mayonnaise really quick. You just have to be careful. Like, okay, so Primal Kitchen mayo, that's my jam, okay? This is the stuff that has like avocado oil, organic eggs, organic egg yolks, vinegar, sea salt, lemon. I mean, it's very good. That is how you want mayonnaise to be. That's a good price here in Texas. Then we have this Better Body Focus avocado chipotle mayo. Let's see what's in that. Avocado, egg yolk. Yeah, so in this case, they have coconut palm sugar, but it's such a negligible amount, we're not even seeing an increase there. We have ground chipotle pepper, ground mustard. Yeah, that's a really good find for a very cheap price, but not a whole lot. I mean, you can get the tried and true one through Primal Kitchen for 70, 80 cents more. So interesting to see this one though, because this one really is a good product and it's off-brand. It's one of the first that I've seen. Okay, big thing in Texas, we've got the Dukes, right? Made with olive oil, but it frustrates me because look, this is what we always have to be careful with. First ingredient, okay, water, olive oil, but then also canola oil, soybean oil, modified food starch. So you have a bunch of other stuff that's in there, including the oils that we're trying to avoid. Now, the thing I do appreciate about this is at least the first oil ingredient is olive oil. When you compare that to, say, Kraft olive oil, this one is, I can barely see it. Oh, actually, this one still does have olive oil first, which is nice. A lot of times you'll find like soybean oil, canola oil, then olive oil. So anyhow, in terms of the mayonnaise, I do think that this one's a nice little find. These ones are obviously great. This one's a vegan mayo. Let's see what's in this one. Well, classic mayo here. Ooh, that's a lot more expensive. So it's almost the same ingredients. The only difference is, yeah, it's pretty much the exact same ingredients, but for $2 more. The vegan mayo, chickpea broth. Okay, that's a good one too if you're trying to avoid some of the egg and stuff. I'm gonna grab a cold brew. You never have enough cold brew. Ooh, nitro black. There we go. I always go with just the black coffee. Need one of these for later. Okay, I'm a sucker for the expensive tuna. Okay, it's a bad habit, it's an expensive habit, but tuna in the glass jars, like when you get it with really good quality olive oil. So look at this, like premium tuna fillets, wild caught in olive oil and sweet red pepper. Now this one probably has some carbs in it. Olive oil, sweet red pepper, yeah, because the sweet red pepper has some sugar. So right in that case, we're getting 2 grams of carbs. But this wild caught in olive oil and fennel, that one looks interesting. That one's not gonna have any carbs. $6. I mean, we're talking expensive, but one of the things I want you to know about tuna is there's some relatively recent evidence that's coming out that's showing that tuna is so rich in selenium. Selenium seems to cancel out, or I shouldn't say cancel out entirely, but it binds to some of the mercury, which indicates that perhaps, okay, potentially we are running much less of a risk with mercury issues with tuna than we thought. Mercury is still an issue, but in tuna, because it contains a natural bioavailable selenium, it helps bind it so that the kidneys can deal with it. So that doesn't mean eat tuna every single day, but I tend to eat tuna almost every single day. And my mercury values are fine, but that doesn't mean that it's not the case for you. Now, when I look at this, I just go for quality. I also like it in a glass jar because you're not getting any BPAs, you're not getting any of that nonsense. So it's expensive, but this Coles brand is delicious. And then they also have them in water if you don't want the oil. Typically, I like to shop tuna and stuff in water, but if I know the olive oil is good quality, like I do with Coles, it's a different story. I'm gonna get one. I know they're expensive, but it's gonna be my lunch today. A lot of people have asked me about this one in the cereal section. This Wonderworks keto-friendly cereal. Okay, so in this case, we have milk protein concentrate, not as good. Erythritol, allulose, whey protein isolate, that's okay. Okay, excuse me, adjust my hand here. Palm kernel oil. We have, let's see, soluble corn fiber, canola oil, rice starch, natural flavor, soy lecithin. Okay, it looks like it's terrible, but it's not as bad as you might think. It's just not something I would choose. I don't like that milk protein concentrate's the first ingredient. I'm not a fan of the canola oil in there. I'm not a fan of the rice starch, and not a fan of the natural flavors. The soy lecithin doesn't bother me. The erythritol doesn't even bother me too much. I like there's allulose in there. I wish they just use allulose instead of erythritol. That way you could just avoid the sugar alcohol component altogether, because allulose technically isn't considered a sugar alcohol. But let's look at the macros here really quick. Still 17 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fiber, 4 of which are, so you're still looking, actually a fair bit of carbs in this. You're still looking, I mean, allulose, that's the interesting thing, is allulose technically still has to be counted as a carb because it's not a sugar alcohol. So it's frustrating because allulose is not really a carb. So when you look at this, they say 3 grams of net carbs. But if you actually tried to do the math on the back, you'd be really confused because you see 16 grams, 4 fiber, that leaves me with 12. What's going on here? That's 12 grams of net carbs. Well, it's because allulose isn't considered a sugar alcohol, which in my opinion is a good thing, but as far as the label's concerned, it gets confusing. So when you see allulose, unfortunately, you kind of have to take their word for this, which could be sketchy. So is it something I'm going to run out and grab that I think is a phenomenal product? No. I've actually tried it and it's not even that delicious. But if you're really craving some keto cereal, yes. But it might be a gut bomb in the morning. It might make you feel bloated if you have it in the morning. It's almost better as like a dessert cereal. They have a nice selection of these seaweed snacks that are just on the regular chip aisle. I love this brand. And then I noticed they have this sesame flavor. Check this one out. Okay, in this case we have organic sesame oil, organic toasted sesame oil, organic sunflower oil. I kind of wish they didn't add the sunflower oil in there, but what's really cool is sesame oil, when it's toasted, okay, this is crazy. When you toast sesame oil, it actually enriches all the antioxidant components, okay? There's a specific kind of sesamolin that's in there that when it gets activated by heat, it unleashes its antioxidant power. Now, I'm not talking antioxidants in terms of what it can do in your body as an antioxidant, but what it does in terms of protecting the fat itself. So normally fats can become kind of oxidized in our body. That's not always a good thing. It's one of the issues with keto. But if you consume good quality fats that don't oxidize, it's great. Better yet, if you consume oils that have antioxidant powers against sort of what's called lipid peroxidation, then you protect the oil that is in that food from essentially going rancid inside your body. It's kind of a colloquial way of putting it, but it's pretty darn awesome. So this sesame, toasted sesame one, it's pretty cool. There's some sunflower oil in there at the bottom, but again, not a deal breaker. I do know that this company has an avocado oil one, but I don't see it here at HEB. I know I'm not going to be able to get through everything. I'm short on time and I got to be sure that I can cover as much as I possibly can here at HEB and still be, time effective. So anyway, if you have ideas for other ones, you can always let me know down below in the description or in the comment section. Again, I'm just kind of scoping around. I'm going to hit a few more aisles, see what I can find. One of my favorite protein sources, at least in the evening, in terms of protein sources on keto, is cottage cheese. You have not lived until you've tried this Good Culture cottage cheese. Okay, this stuff is so big of a game changer. Okay, look at this. In this case, it's the low-fat one, but skim milk, whole milk, cream, sea salt, live and active cultures. That is it. Okay, it is considered a fermented food. Just like yogurt, you're getting a probiotic effect, and it is good for the tummy. They also have these, which are so cool. And I can't believe they even have the peach flavor that I can never find. Okay, so this is one of the coolest kinds here at HEB. This one makes me so excited. So look at this. Skim milk, whole milk, water, peaches, cream, sea salt, pectin, which is just a fiber, natural flavors, You never know. Lemon juice concentrate, stevia, then the live and active cultures. No erythritol, nothing weird, no sugar. 3 grams of sugar, and it's only coming from the milk sugar. So you get this delicious, like fruit in the bottom style dish for 100 calories, and you're getting 15 grams of protein. I am so stocking up on these because these are things, I'm gonna get one of each flavor because I'm here in Texas for a couple more days. Oh my gosh, they have 4 flavors. They have the, yes. I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna get one more of these peach. Oh, my buddy's gonna be so happy I'm bringing that home. He's lost like 40 pounds on keto already, or no, 30 pounds on keto. And he's only been doing it for like a little over a month. It's just phenomenal. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Something new. The difference between yogurt and kefir in terms of the culturing effect. Kefir has more demonstrated studies, or I guess I should say studies demonstrating the powerful probiotic effect. But what happens is people look at this and they say, okay, oh wow, there's 12 grams of carbs, not gonna have that on keto. That's for 4 servings. You're not gonna, I mean, you could drink a whole cup of this, but I do not recommend drinking a whole cup. I recommend doing like a quarter cup, which is going to get you 3 grams of carbs. Do a quarter cup and just get the probiotic effect, and do that once or twice a day. Especially like when I'm traveling, I usually do like to get some of this, or at least eat more cottage cheese and yogurt, because I feel like my gut biome gets a little bit wrecked when I'm on a plane and stuff like that. So they have this Lifeway brand, which I think is really good. Okay, always get the higher fat one. In this case, it's a negligible difference in calories, 110 versus 160. But the fat, again, you're getting that conjugated linoleic acid. We want the milk fat. Okay, most of the benefit outside of the probiotic effect of like dairy is coming from the fat. It really is. Okay, it's also specific kinds of saturated fat that are in there. You've got conjugated linoleic acid, which is not a saturated, but then you also have more in the way of like stearic acid, which is a good saturated fat that has positive benefits. Whoa, 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 whoa. Check it out. Okay, now I am stoked. Okay, they have, I like this one, but I'm gonna go put this one back in a second because I found the Trimona. Okay, this is the Bulgarian yogurt I was talking about. Okay, look at this, lower carbohydrate content too, 6 grams versus the other one I looked at, which was 9. But then they also have these cool ones, this Revive Turmeric plus Ginger. Okay, really cool. And they have acai and beet, and these still are very low carb, 11 grams of carbs in this one. And the turmeric ginger, which is my personal favorite before, 9 grams. Okay, awesome. I can't believe they have this here. This is really cool. So this stuff is one of the ultimate keto foods you can have. Okay, probiotic, whole milk, grass-fed, and not strained. So that means you're getting a higher fat content, higher probiotic content. Man, this has been a very gut health oriented haul. Ooh, yes. Okay, so if you're doing keto and you want some good breakfast items, I'm in the frozen section now. This real good stuff. Okay, real good turkey sausage, breakfast sandwiches. Let's try the. Let's take a look at this one. This looks really good. Okay, 4 grams of net carbs per sandwich. The ingredients are pretty cool too. Okay, so in this case we have a cauliflower bun. We have cauliflower, mozzarella cheese, all that stuff in the bun. A little bit of tapioca flour, almond flour, dried whole egg, liquid whole egg. That's all in the, and then we have the turkey sausage, which is turkey, water, a little bit of sea salt, spices, some cane sugar. That's normal in turkey. Fully cooked scrambled egg patty, whole eggs, water, dry whole milk. I hate they add the soybean oil. But it's far enough down that if you're just trying to just enjoy keto and you're not worried about the fats, then that's macronutrient wise very great. 21 grams of protein, 21 grams of, 4 grams of carbs. This one, all of them have eggs. So yep, see the soybean oil is a culprit in the egg. So anything that has the egg is going to have that soybean oil. It's going to prevent me from getting it, but it's still a great company that really has some good products. I just wish they would ditch the soybean oil, but it is so far down in the ingredient list, I'm not super worried about it. Frozen section has a lot of different things. Just so you know, when I was 100 pounds overweight, these kolaches in general were the problem for me. They were the bane of my existence, and they are what kept me from losing weight for so long when I lived in Texas before. We're gonna end with the fun stuff real quick. In terms of ice creams and these ice cream bars that are always on the end cap display, the Enlightened Keto bars are, I really like Enlightened for the ice cream. Their bars, for that style of bar, are really good. These are the ones that, my favorite Enlightened Keto one is that caramel dark chocolate peanut, because I like having the crispy chocolate shell. So that one, as far as macronutrients are concerned, are totally good to go. I really do like these brands here, these Keto Pint, when it comes to the bars. Ice cream wise, I think I prefer Enlightened. When it comes to the keto bars, I think I slightly prefer these Keto Pint ones. See if they have the peanut butter cup. That flavor is unreal. The Halo Top bars, not nearly as much of a fan of. Okay, so these ones are their keto ones. They taste kind of powdery. It's kind of weird. I can't really describe it. And I will tell you, These ones I've seen at Costco. I really do like the ingredient profile. So for the bars, I would recommend these, and it's awesome that HEB has such a lineup of them. And then for Enlightened, I recommend them as well. Anyway, all similar ingredients, but I feel like Enlightened has nailed the flavoring down for these kinds of bars, and then Keto Pint has nailed the flavoring for the ones with the hard outer shell. And that is how we wrap up some quick keto finds at HEB. So again, if there's other things that you want to see me look at different grocery stores across the country, by all means, let me know down below in the comment section. As always, I will see you tomorrow.